Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Lies and Logic, and I'm Matt Garrett. So, Jagmeet dumped Trudeau today. Broke up with him over a video message. Let's have a listen. Skip ahead if you've seen it, or just don't give a shit what he has to say.
Today, I notified the Prime Minister that I've ripped up the Supply and Confidence Agreement. Canadians are fighting a battle for the future of the middle class. Justin Trudeau has proven again and again he will always cave to corporate greed. The Liberals have let people down. They don't deserve another chance. There is an even bigger battle ahead. The threat of Pierre Poilievre and conservative cuts from workers, from retirees, from young people, from patients, from families. He will cut in order to give more to big corporations and wealthy CEOs. The fact is, the Liberals are too weak, too selfish, and too beholden to corporate interests to fight for people. They cannot be the change. They cannot restore the hope. They cannot stop the Conservatives. But we can. In the next federal election, Canadians will choose between Pierre Poilievre's callous cuts or hope. Hope that when we stand united, we win. That Canada's middle class will once again thrive together. In Canada, we take care of our neighbors. That's who we are. I've embraced that value my whole life. I'm running for Prime Minister because together we can and will stop conservative cuts. We can deliver relief and restore hope, fix healthcare, build homes you can afford, stop price gouging. It's always impossible until it isn't. It can't be done until someone does it. If we're together, nothing is impossible, and we won't let them tell us it can't be done. Big corporations and wealthy CEOs have had their government. It's the people's time.
Trudeau was getting ready for a scheduled news conference when the news broke, so he was forced to answer a few questions. He pretended to sound like he actually cared about the people of Canada. He also mentioned more programs to help people feel some relief, which of course will cost taxpayers more money. What he neglects to mention about all Canada's recent struggles is he fucking caused them. Have a listen.
We're here today because we're delivering on school lunches and school food for thousands of kids across the province, and we're making investments that are going to be helping hundreds of thousands of kids across the country as people step up. These are the kinds of things that Canadians are looking for. As I traveled across the country this summer, people talk to me about making ends meet. They talk to me about the high cost of rent and the need for more housing. They talk to me about the environment and climate change and the impacts of it. And these are the things that we're focused on. I'll let others focus on politics, but I will point out that I really hope the NDP stays focused on how we can deliver for Canadians, as we have over the past years, rather than focusing on politics.
Follow-up? What will become of the programs that you announced as part of the agreement that you had with the NDP, such as pharmacare and dental care?
Well, we have delivered on dental care. 500,000 Canadian seniors have now accessed dental care just in the past few months, despite Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives' opposition to it every step of the way. 500,000 Canadian seniors have now had dental care, many for the first time in decades. This is a program that has helped Canadians. We still have work to do to continue rolling out dental care, and I hope the NDP will continue to fight for that. This fall, we're going to be moving forward on making sure that nobody has to choose between paying for groceries or rent or paying for much-needed insulin. Pharmacare is going to become a reality as we work on that in the House, and I hope the NDP stays focused on that. As a government, we're going to stay focused on delivering for Canadians at a time where people need that. We have, and the Bank of Canada announcement today underscored that, we have the strongest fiscal position of any country in the G7 right now. My belief, our belief is we need to set that fiscal position to work for Canadians by delivering spaces at $10 a day in daycares across the country, delivering dental care, rolling out to Canadians with disabilities and kids under 18, delivering a school food program that's going to make sure that kids don't sit in class too focused on their bellies rumbling to focus on the teacher. These are things that Canadians care about and need. These are the things that this government continues to focus on.
Next question.
Prime Minister Don Bradshaw, NTV. Have you had an opportunity to think about what your fall will look like now? Will it be another just a regular return to the House of Commons, or do you now have to start thinking about maybe calling an election before something happens?
I am not focused on politics. I'll let other parties focus on politics. I'm focused on actually delivering the things that Canadians told me this summer they need. I had thousands of conversations with people across the country. Very few of them wanted to talk politics. They wanted to talk how are they going to make sure that they can afford their rent as they get back to school in the fall, how they're going to be able to hope to one day be able to own a home. That's why we're investing in the most ambitious home building program the country has ever seen. They want to know how we're going to help with the price of groceries. Well, rolling out these school food programs right across the country as more provinces come on board is going to make a real difference in families' bottom lines. I'm focused on Canadians. I'll let the other parties focus on politics.
But with that said, you have to focus on politics at some point when you look at what you're doing. The announcement today, for example, the Bank of Canada rate dropping, it would seem like these would be positive signs that maybe you would want to go to the polls with. So when do you start thinking politically?
Delivering for Canadians is at the heart of what politics is supposed to be about. We're about being there to make sure that as Canadians are hurting, but as our economy is in many ways one of the strongest in the world, certainly in terms of fiscal position, we should be putting that economy to serve them. That's why we stepped up with $10 a day childcare. That's why we've stepped up with dental care. That's why we're continuing to fight for pharmacare. This is why we're drawing in investment from around the world at levels that nobody's ever seen. We're up 60% in foreign direct investment. Last year, we were the #1 country per capita among advanced economies in the G20 for companies wanting to invest in Canada. There is opportunity in Canada that we cannot let slide. That's what we're focused on. An election will come in the coming year, hopefully not till next fall, because in the meantime, we're going to deliver for Canadians. And the contrast with a Conservative leader that wants to cut dental care, cut the school food program, cut insulin through pharmacare, cut the programs that Canadians are relying on to help them through this difficult time, well, that'll be a political decision that Canadians get to take in an election. But in the meantime, I'm not letting down Canadians.
What the fuck is he rambling about? He's gonna let Pierre worry about politics then? You were hired to be a politician, you simpleton. Sounds like he's gonna worry about creating costly programs to expand the government and fence the rest of us in even more. He boasts about our economy yet contradicts himself by saying Canadians are hurting. I speak with people all day long and everyone universally agrees they are poorer now than they were 5 years ago. The few that are making more money still agree our country and way of life in Canada has diminished considerably. Trudeau walks around Canada knowing we haven't forgotten what he did to us during the scamdemic. Canada's waking up, Justin. We know you and your corporate sponsors are just doing as much economic damage as possible to move your WEF agenda along. And now Jagmeet sounds like he wants to play the Kamala angle and hope Canadians are just dumb enough to forget his involvement in our economic crisis. Jagmeet, if you hadn't created this coalition, there is a high probability we could have had an election by now and started to stop the fiscal spending. You failed the people for your own self-interest, and as far as I'm concerned, you're as guilty and as crooked as Trudeau himself. I am curious to see the direction Canadian media is going to take now that it's getting clearer Canada wants a Conservative government. Are they going to continue to kill their credibility and gaslight Canadians, or will they press pause on the agenda and let the people have the reins for a while until the globalists can figure out what next big event to throw at us to disrupt our economic recovery? What do you think we can do to turn our country around? I can't say a lot of how I feel on YouTube as Canada's censorship laws are ever changing, but maybe someone out there can say it for me in the comments. We can discuss some of the comments in a future video. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe on your way out as it helps the channel grow. This is Lies and Logic and I'm Matt Garrett. See you next time.